Max Sports, we want to make sure you get the whole game. So we'll take a moment here to clean your speakers.
Clean sonic delivery.
You're good.
This is K-Max Sports.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Thorne Stadium in Houston, Texas. Well, it's been a soggy week, thanks to the remnants of Mexico's Hurricane Willa. But thankfully, skies have started to clear, and we should have a great evening for some high school football. Hi again, I'm Joe Hollier, along with Aaron Schneider, and as we get set to bring you tonight's 16-6A matchup between the NIMITZ Cougars and MacArthur Generals. And Aaron, it looks like a pretty good matchup on paper as it pits the number 2 offense of NIMITZ versus a very stingy passing defense of MacArthur. Both teams are coming off a loss last week. NIMITZ dropping a game to Eisenhower 28-20, and Westfield downing MacArthur 31-13. It looks like NIMITZ will receive the opening kickoff. One of the things we talked about beforehand, Aaron, was MacArthur really has only 30-some-odd players on their roster tonight. Short kick goes out of bounds, and wisely, Christian Martin just lets it go out of bounds. So we'll see what they choose to do, if they want them to kick it over or. Yeah, Javon Davis and Timberland Sanders back deep for the Cougars. And we'll talk quite a bit about Javon Davis tonight. Kicking off for MacArthur is Edgar Don Juan, number 81, a left-footed kicker. And you're right, there's another pooch kick, and it may go out of bounds as well. And he should have let it go. Made the right decision the first time he kicked off, and the second time he catches it and steps out of bounds.
He stepped out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And it gives the NIMITZ Cougars the ball at their own 25-yard line. First down and 10.
Sanders out wide right. And it is Remo as quarterback. Davis in the backfield. Davis with a hand up the middle off the right side. Gets 5, 6, 7, 8 out to 10. Falls forward. Looks like he'll have enough for the first down.
Number 5, Javon Davis, the ball carrier. A gain of 11 yards. First down, NIMITZ.
Flanagan and Reynolds split out to the left. Sanders to the right. I formation out of the shotgun. Snap again, handoff straight up the middle, and a pickup of about 5 for Davis. It'll be second and about 5 yards. Another handoff up the middle, and there goes Javon Davis. Enough for the first down. He breaks free. The 40, 30, 20. One man to beat. Touchdown, Cougars.
Javon Davis, nothing really special about that. Just going off tackle. He had 262 yards and 4 TDs a week ago, and we're barely a minute and a half into this football game, not even, and now we're already talking a touchdown.
A 60-yard touchdown run for Javon Davis. Amazing. They ran literally the same play 3 times in a row. Picks up a first down, picks up 5 yards, and then 60 yards for the touchdown.
And MacArthur's going to have to bring somebody else down in the box to stop the run first. Their pass defense is what they're known for, but if they can't stop the run tonight, it's going to be a long game for the Generals.
Big number 38, Vasquez, the sophomore kicker. Kicks it through, and the Cougars lead 7-0. We'll keep it here. Yeah, we talked about how impressive the drill team was for the Generals. They have about 60-plus girls on the sideline on the drill team, which almost doubles the football team.
Yeah, I think that's going to come into to play here tonight. 37-38. I mean, you're talking about a 6A public school and very low numbers. And Coach Crawford talked about how many of these players had to play 2 ways tonight.
There's the replay of Javon breaking free and going 60 yards. Amazing run by the sophomore running back. Vasquez to kick off to the Generals. And does a little squib kick. Picked up at the 35. Be a great field position for the Generals. And gets it out to the 46-yard line. And they'll take over 1st and 10 from there. Nice 15-yard return. Kicking game has been suspect for NIMITZ the last few games. We'll see what the Generals bring out offensively. Big front for the Generals. DeMonte, big number 70, a sophomore. Nope. And penalty pushes it out to the 49-yard line into NIMITZ territory. MacArthur says they'll run a couple of quarterbacks out tonight. First handoff down to the left side and pick up about 4 yards. Starting out is Eric Delgado at quarterback. The quarterback slash linebacker is players are having to play both ways for the Generals. In the backfield, Ramel Marks, one of the leading runners for MacArthur. Quick pass to the left side, and it's a pickup of about 3 yards. It'll end up being 3rd and 3.
Joe, this is Chuck, obviously, and I apologize. I had to take your camera or your color guy away from you. He's being a complete team player and running the second camera that we have for the broadcast. My apologies for the folks out there. Our cameraman that was designated, a little car trouble on the way. He's on his way, so hopefully we can get your color guy back to you as soon as possible.
Thanks, Chuck. And that's right. That's our president and producer tonight, Chuck Nakata of KMAX Sports. Nice pickup around the right side for MacArthur. And he's tripped up there at the 25-yard line by Bryant Armin. It'll be first down for the Generals. A nice run by Ramel Marks.
A 19-yard gain. First down, MacArthur.
Marks is the leading rusher for MacArthur. Averages 4.33 yards a carry. He has 5 touchdowns on the year. And he picks up another 8 yards on that carry. Now they mark it about 6 yards. It'll be second down and 4.
MacArthur Generals have the ball at the 18-yard line of NIMITZ. It's second down.
Eric Delgado for MacArthur is a big quarterback. And talking to the head coach, he's not a big runner, but It's pretty good throwing the ball. And as I say that, he throws one out of bounds to the cheerleading squad. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Thought I saw one of them go for it too, by the way.
Well, you know, they need players.
By the way, for those of you watching, the scoreboard you see in the lower left, that is the game clock that is running. So you're up to date on the game clock and how much time left in each quarter.
3rd down and 4. Drops back, looking for somebody in the end zone. He's got a man on the far side. Now it's up for grabs, and they're going to call pass interference, but it's, you know, that's a jump ball. Everybody's going for it. We'll see what the call is. I'm guessing it's going to be defensive pass interference.
I would think so.
But that was just a jump ball, and it may end up being a benefit for the Generals.
Okay, defensive holding instead, but still, end result's the same.
End result's the same. It'll be a 1st down for the Generals.
By the way, thanks very much to Aaron Schneider for being a team player and giving up the color position to run camera for us tonight.
Well, hopefully we'll get a cameraman in here and out of traffic soon, and he can come back in the booth.
Mm-hmm. Definitely what we want.
1st and goal for the Generals. Out of the eye. Handoff up the middle. Again, hit immediately and dropped. As Ramel Marks maybe got a yard. It'll be 2nd goal. Checking in for the Generals is Maurice Woods. So Woods and Taylor Eaton both in the backfield now. Handoff is Eaton around the right side. Breaks a tackle, breaks 3, and gets in. What a nice run by Taylor Eaton. And man, this is kind of the matchup we expected. Both teams still in the hunt for a playoff spot, but NIMITZ a little bit closer than MacArthur. Both sport left-footed kickers, and both have hit extra points, and we're tied at 7. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Aldine Independent School District football on KMAC Sports Vype Network. We'll be back in a moment.
This is the KMAC Sports Network.
1, 2, 3, hit! More coverage of your high school teams. Let's just say we keep it real.
And you know this, man.
This is the KMAC Sports Network.
Vype Media is the state's most comprehensive high school sports media outlet, covering UIL, private schools. Vype has been in Texas for over a decade. Visit their website at Vype, VYPE, and also pick up your Vype magazine today. Get in the game with Vype Media.
Collier and Chuck Licata trying to patch a broadcast together as we've had some technical difficulties and some
just
traffic
personnel
difficulties. Yeah, personnel really.
and traffic issues.
All the equipment's working splendidly. Another pooch kick, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line for NIMITZ. If you're just joining us, Taylor Eaton with a 10-yard touchdown run for the MacArthur Generals to tie this game up at 7. And NIMITZ will take over their 2nd possession of the night. I formation. Handoff again to Davis up the middle. Bounces off to the right side. Picks up 6. Breaks a tackle. And it'll be a pickup of 8 or 9 yards on the 1st down. Bring up 2nd and short.
Joe, were you expecting as much offense as we've seen so far with 7:03 to go in the first quarter?
I was expecting the offense definitely from NIMITZ, and it's just going to depend on how the defense does for Aldine. They're capable of making some stops. I think as this game goes on, though, and with the number of players that MacArthur has, they're going to get a little bit winded. So we'll see if that plays out. Another handoff up the middle, and I don't think he got it. It's going to be. Oh, they gave him the first down on the last carry. Man, that was a friendly spot.
Yeah. Yeah, from both camera angles that we have, it looked like he was maybe a half a yard short, but of course we're up here, not down there.
That's right. 2nd and 10 now. Kimberlin Sanders split out far wide right. I formation again. Remo out of the shotgun. Another handoff to Davis. Davis off the left tackle. Drags a player forward close to a first down.
On the tackle, number 25, Casey Edwards.
I don't even have a 25 on my roster. But that's who made the tackle. It was enough for a first down. Javon Davis carrying the load thus far for the Cougars. Another handoff to Davis, right side, and he's stacked up immediately. Maybe a gain of 1. NIMITZ is saying MacArthur thinks there's a fumble on the play, but
while they're doing that, I got good news. Your color man's coming back. Carl is here. He'll take over the camera, and you'll get Aaron Schneider back for. Wow!
So Javon does cough it up. And he coming off the field a little shaken. And the Generals taking over at the 48-yard line of the Cougars. Handoff left side. Eaton looking for some running room. Comes back to the right. Marks. Breaks the tackle all the way out to the 35-yard line. And it'll be enough for a first down.
I'll tell you what, Joe, it's actually MacArthur that's playing the inspired football right now. You probably would consider them the underdog in this game, but they are coming out and working with the short field here.
You mentioned Eric Delgado, not much of a runner, but so far he hasn't had to do that. Happy to hand it off, a couple of screen passes. Another handoff to the left side, and he's going to break another long run. Is Ramel Marks. My goodness. It's the Davis Marks show so far.
I think both teams would be content just to keep this clock moving tonight. So a heavy dose of run here early.
Yeah, this could be one of the shortest high school football games ever. Another handoff up the middle.
You're a baseball guy too, Joe, so it's like a perfect game, right? You just jinx it.
Just keep that clock rolling. Chuck will be back in Sugar Land in no time.
Definitely be a lot shorter drive than when he came up here, that's for sure. I think you're going to see a lot more of this with Delgado, just trying to get balls into the flat, short screen passes, trying to get him comfortable here in the early going. But until he has to, why not just continue to hand it off?
Absolutely. 2nd and 7 for the Generals as they look to take the lead in this contest. There you go, another handoff off the left side. This time is Taylor Eaton, who scored last time from about this distance, and he stopped short.
And in talking with Coach Crawford this week, that's one of the things he talked about is how much they had to get Taylor Eaton involved in this football game. They've certainly seen some loss of some key players. You have their top receiver, Ordanyana, out. So they talked about putting Eaton in the backfield, moving him into the slot. But they're going to have to utilize him a lot if MacArthur's going to win this game. And they certainly have had a heavy dose of him early.
Eaton in the backfield again, and he takes the ball up the middle, gets hit, drops forward to about the 4-yard line. And I'll bring up 3rd down.
Looks like they actually have Romel Marks checking into the game, giving Eaton a little bit of a spell, perhaps. That's number 6, I think. Is that?
42 with the stop for the Cougars. Hand off again to Eaton, and he's wrapped up immediately. No gain at all there, and bring up a 3rd down. This would be nice when if you had a running quarterback, you fake that handoff to Eaton and take it around the end.
Yeah, as much as NIMITZ has been biting, just a heavy dose of run, having everybody duck inside, looking for that inside run, just to be able to pull and get the edge right here.
And here they go back with the triple back set. And this time it's Eaton around the corner, and he gets hit, knocked out of bounds. So a great defensive play there.
And NIMITZ does a good job of stringing that play out. They were trying to bring the extra back in to try to create a wrap on the boundary and just open up a lane to get the corner, and just a great job by NIMITZ to string that out, use the sideline as another defender, and continue to hold him out of the end zone here.
Edwin Dearman with the nice tackle. And looks like the Generals are going to try and kick the field goal. But a 21-yarder.
Dearman with 65 tackles on the year, none bigger than that one right there. It's both teams playing for their life.
Don Juan's kick is on the way, and it is good. So the turnover ends up costing the Cougars some points, and the Generals take a 10-7 lead with 1:34 left here in the first quarter.
Joe, if you look at where these two teams sit in the district, we didn't have much of a chance to talk about that with the broadcast getting going, but both teams really in a must-win type situation. For NIMITZ, they could afford a slip-up, but you really don't want it against MacArthur because they still have a clash with number 1 Westfield on tap for next week. And MacArthur, they have to win out in order to have an opportunity to make the playoffs here.
Yeah, the NIMITZ actually sitting in the number 4 spot currently at 2-2. But you're right, the bigger hill to climb is going to be for the MacArthur Generals. They are going to have to win out, and that's going to be a tough road to hoe here in this district.
It'll be interesting to see here with MacArthur now with a lead. Do they continue to still give good field position to NIMITZ and trust their defense, or do they start trying to kick the ball deep and try to flip the field a little bit? My guess is they're still going to kick it short.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's probably going to come down to, is that Sanders over there on the far side? No, it's Anthony Johnson. That's who they've been targeting thus far. And did we take a timeout here?
It looks like a timeout taken by the Generals, and that could be for 2 reasons. Number 1, to discuss just that, where they're going to kick this football, or perhaps Coach Crawford just trying to give his guys a little bit of a break here. We're almost through 1 quarter already, but with those two-way players.
And while you were showing your dexterity and running camera, that's one of the things Chuck and I talked about was, in the long run, how good is the conditioning of the Generals? Are they going to wear down in the second half? That's something to definitely watch for.
Coach Crawford stressed this week really wanting to keep a fresh defense out there. That was one of his main things. He had to give his offense a chance to, or really give his defense a chance to rest. So they had to control the ball. And they've done that here in the early going. I'm not sure the time of possession, but I feel like MacArthur's had the ball for the majority of the first quarter. And
Don Juan's pooch kick comes to the other side, and it's picked up, and now we have a lane. Oh, he called it for a fair catch. Oh, in hindsight, that was a bad choice for Carl Reynolds.
And I'll tell you, Richard Slater is not happy with that call from the official. He has given him an earful on the sideline right now. But Carl Reynolds, another one of those guys, the leading receiver in the district, with 38 catches, 714 yards. He's averaging almost 20 yards a catch. He definitely can do some damage with the ball in his hand. But he wishes he could have that one back right there.
Absolutely. And, I don't know that he was intentionally trying to or just telling his teammates, I got this ball, like calling it like an outfielder. I really don't think he meant.
Either way, I bet if you asked him right
catch.
now, he'll tell you he was not trying to call a fair catch.
Austin Remo.
And I may have missed something jumping on camera, but I'm not sure. Have they done anything yet other than hand the ball off to Davis?
No, nothing yet until now. And immediately, quarterback draw, he gets about 4 yards. He was looking down the right side for Sanders, and he was covered and just took it himself, but a nice pickup of about 4 yards.
And MacArthur's sitting back in that cover 4 look, so they're going to try to make it very difficult for Remo to throw the ball down the field, but that's going to open up some lanes inside for running.
Sanders and Hampton split right. Now we're back to Davis. Around the left side, good pickup, enough for a first down out to almost the 50-yard line.
Number 5, Javon Davis, the ball carrier.
MacArthur kind of sitting back in that bend, don't break type defense right now.
Javon already up over 100 yards rushing. Unfortunately, he had the turnover that ended up costing his team some points. Carl Reynolds near side. Reynolds is, as you said, one of the leading wide receivers for this NIMITZ crew. And it's Davis again off the left tackle. And he picks up about 4.
Number 5, Javon Davis, the ball carrier.
That'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Casey Atkins.
Be interested to see if NIMITZ goes to any type of run-pass option here, faking to Davis and then looking out into the flats, and bubble routes, tunnel routes out on the edge, because with MacArthur sitting back in this cover 4, there's certainly some space available out there.
That's the end of the first quarter. We'll take a break. You are watching Aldine ISD football on KMAX Sports Vype Network.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
1, 2, 3, hit! More coverage of your high school teams. Let's just say we keep it real.
And you know this, man.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
We hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. And while all of us at the KMAX Sports Network are huge football fans, we broadcast more than just football, you know. In fact, KMAX Sports proudly broadcasts volleyball, girls and boys basketball, softball, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, and more. For more information on how you can help KMAX Sports broadcast any of those sports, just reach out to Chuck at KMAXSports.com or Merle at KMAXSports.com, or contact that sports booster club directly. KMAX Sports will gladly work with you and the booster clubs to get that team's broadcasts on the air. And if you're a fan of the other team, well, we can broadcast your team's games too. We realize that, yes, even in Texas, there's more to life than just football. KMAX Sports, bringing your teams to you for 14
Remo,
years.
quick pass is off the hands of Sanders, and my goodness, that's when you tell your wide receiver, sorry I hit you in the hands.
Yep, and they were looking, Joe, for the middle of the field right there. We talked about that earlier. With this cover 4, the way the safeties are hugging the hashes, anything that moves to the outside is going to pull the safety over, and that slant was wide open, and Remo did exactly what he's supposed to, hit him in the hands, but a drop pass for NIMITZ.
Brings up 2nd and 10. Remo handing off to Davis, right side, right tackle, good, breaks again outside, and tries to get around one more guy, is unable to, and he'll be thrown out of bounds about the 38-yard line, but it'll be enough for a first down.
Javon Davis, the ball carrier.
MacArthur going to have to find an answer for Davis here early, as he has been the offense for NIMITZ through a quarter of play.
A gain of 14 yards. First down. NIMITZ.
I formation again. Remo looking left, got a man open, and this time it is caught. That pass was actually thrown a little bit behind.
Austin Remo's pass.
It's good hands from Carl Reynolds right there. There's a reason he's the leading receiver in the district. Kind of a double clutch and a ball behind him. But good job to haul that in and not move the sticks again. NIMITZ is on the move now.
Yeah, if he hits him in the on the move like he did Sanders a minute ago, he picks up another 10 yards, but he actually had to slow down and pick that ball up behind him. But you're right, great catch there by Reynolds. Call comes in from the sideline. High formation again. Remo looking to pass. Going to scramble to his left, and he'll take it himself, and he'll get lit up right about the line of scrimmage.
MacArthur showed blitz on that play from the wide side of the field. Looked like they were going to bring him hot, but instead just kind of playing contain, trying to keep Remo from running. That's not really, I don't think, the threat from NIMITZ at the time right now is Remo running. I think it's Davis, but them looking for Reynolds out on the edge.
Remo actually loses a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Hand off Davis, right side, another big hole. And again, the nice thing you like about that little scat back is he keeps falling forward.
Number 5, Javon Davis, the ball carrier.
Javon continues to pick up yardage, and despite his smaller stature, he continues to drive somebody forward for 2 or 3 yards after he gets hit.
5'3" and only $160, but I think the thing that NIMITZ loves the most about Javon Davis is he's only a sophomore.
3rd down and a yard. And a junior quarterback, so that combination would be back next year. And there you see right there, gets hit in the backfield, but able to shake a couple of tackles and be enough for the pick up the 1st down.
A gain of 4 yards.
You see Carl Reynolds waving.
I think they're just going to run the same play.
Might as well.
Might as well. Never got it off. 4th down. Here you go. Remo looking in the end zone. Over the middle. He had a man open. He led him too far.
There it was, the slant right into the soft part of that defense, and just Remo a little too much on it. Too much mustard goes off the fingertips, and MacArthur, they're going to be in the shadow of their own goal line, but they'll take that. It's a big defensive stand for MacArthur.
The Generals bend, but they don't break, and they hold on to the lead here for the time being, 10-7.
That's the premise of that cover 4, is just keep everything in front of you and try to have the other team make mistakes.
Yeah, Remo will not be happy watching this one back on replay, as he had a man wide open. Just making sure they keep switching backs on me. Ramel Marks in the backfield, and he'll take the handoff. He breaks the tackle and picks up about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Ramel Marks, 85 touches, 368 yards. He's averaging 4.3 yards per carry. He does have 5 touchdowns this year as well.
Delgado, the quarterback, has not thrown downfield yet. He's been, when he's thrown, it's just been little screen passes, quick outs to the wide receivers. And they're looking to go downfield. Long bomb down the right sideline, and it's up for grabs. Oh, it's taken away! The 20, 10, and touchdown.
What an athletic.
Joshua Eaton, there's your Eaton boys again.
That's it, Eaton 1 and Eaton 2. That's Eaton brothers. You got Josh Eaton with a touchdown there, and then Taylor Eaton with the earlier score. And that's just an athlete going and making a play right there. And Josh Eaton actually is starting cornerback. That's the position that is his number 1 position. But I tell you what, they're liking that receiver right now. Stepping in for the injured Armando Ordonana.
And the extra point is no good. It's a very bad snap. So, but the Generals take a 16-7 lead.
I would have preferred a 10-point lead, but a 9-point still makes this a 2-possession game. With only 6 minutes and 50 seconds before halftime, MacArthur's got to like the position that they're in right now.
Yeah, Delgado, I just said they have not thrown downfield yet, and he hooks up with Josh Eaton for a bomb. Check out the replay. Here it is, and I mean, it's up for grabs. Can't catch it there, but he ends up bobbling it and taking it away from the defensive cornerback and just taking it to the house. Wow.
You work those in practice. That's just a jump ball. It's the old basketball tip-off. Just a straight throw up, jump off. Who wants to go up and get the ball? And that time it was Josh Eaton. That's a huge play from MacArthur.
16-7, MacArthur with the lead.
Wayne Crawford really stressing this week of how he's trying to change this culture here at MacArthur. Team that has struggled here for pretty much the past decade. 2007, 2008, their last trip to the playoffs. They won 4 district titles in their history, but none of them have come lately. So a lot of work ahead of Coach Crawford, but he's got to like what he's seeing here in the first half.
1-3 in district. They've scored 66 points up to this point, giving up 127.
That's usually not a recipe to win too many games.
But they hold the lead here. Another squib kick, and no fair catch this time.
He learned his lesson.
A good run back, and it will bring it out to midfield for the Cougars as Reynolds.
That's always the danger when you kick the ball to a playmaker, even with a high pooch kick like that, is you give him the opportunity to run it back, and it's going to be great starting field position for NIMITZ, starting right at the midfield stripe.
We'll get the NIMITZ Cougars the ball at the 50-yard line. First down and 10.
Remo and Davis again in the backfield.
Got a one-on-one matchup at the top with Reynolds. See if they try to go to that.
Handoff coming around left end, and it'll be dropped after a 2-yard gain. It was Jalen Davis taking the handoff. Davis, another diminutive runner for this NIMITZ Cougars squad, but good speed up and down this NIMITZ offense. Oh, looking to throw. There's the slant again, wide open. This time it's caught. Great spin move and dragged down about the 25, maybe the 24-yard line.
Is complete to number 1, Timberland Sanders.
That's the pass Sanders missed previously.
That's it.
25-yard pass.
And running a hurry-up offense here. And there goes John Davis as he gets upended at about the 12-yard line.
Timberland Sanders, an athlete for this team. He's done it all. Played quarterback, played receiver. They move him all over the place. Nice job.
Another first down. Davis running right, cuts back inside. Javon picks up maybe 4.
See if the play calling switches any on this drive. A heavy dose of pass when they got in the red zone last drive.
Second down and 6. Remo looking to throw. Another slant. Got his man, and he gets in. Reynolds, a great catch, and fights off the tackle.
MacArthur's going to have to make an adjustment in the defense, just sitting back in that cover 4. So you leave the middle of the field open. You leave a lot of those soft zones just in those quick slants, those posts. All that will be open all night if they continue to just bail in that cover 4. No help underneath. Perhaps faking some blitzes and dropping into that hook to curl zone could give some help underneath.
The extra point is on its way, and it is good.
I drive a little bit too easy for them.
11-yard touchdown pass from Remo.
You know, Joe, right there, you talked about it earlier. We've been talking about it all night, really, that 37, 38 players somewhere in there on the sidelines. A lot of players playing both ways. You see NIMITZ go to that quick up-tempo offense after long plays. You got to think if they have success doing that tonight, you're going to wear down this MacArthur defense pretty fast.
Yeah, that's just good coaching. You take what you're given, and I think that's a good strategy. Try and keep these guys on the run as much as you can.
You saw there on the replay, you continue to see MacArthur just bailing in that cover 4. Their first steps are back, opening up, trying to maintain outside leverage out on the edge, and just opening up those slants all night long. And NIMITZ missed on a couple of them early in the game. They didn't miss on that drive.
I also like the call by Slater coming back to Timberland Sanders on the slant pattern that he missed earlier. Give him a little bit of confidence, and it ended up being a big play. Like I said, I think that's going to be open all day long unless MacArthur does something different on defense.
No shortage of athletes on this NIMITZ team, so why not utilize them all? I mean, there's so many weapons. You think about all the names we've called out early tonight. We've done a lot of Javon Davis, but there's some other names starting to slip in there as well.
Another squib kick up the middle, and they'll cover it up at about the 31, 32-yard line. And as you can see on the screen, 4:45 left to go until halftime. As the NIMITZ Cougars trail this one by 2.
An interesting kick there going with the squib kick, but when you look at the statistics, actually, NIMITZ has 0 returners in the top 10 on kickoff returns, which doesn't seem to make a ton of sense for MacArthur not to kick it to him. But MacArthur, on the other hand, actually has the number 2, number 6, and number 8 return men.
Unless everybody's been doing that. You know, if you squib the entire time, it's hard to put up any numbers on a return team. Hand off up the middle. Oh, nice strong run. Pick up a 5, maybe 6.
I'm not sure, Joe, on the actual statistics, but you look at it, I know there was a guy in another state that they actually did the statistics on this. He went forward every time on 4th down. He kicked an onside kick every single time, just trying to play the numbers.
And 32, Jacoby Green.
Maybe something to that. I think you got to have a good defense, though, to do that, because you're going to give up short yardage, short fields, frequent basis.
Ramel Marsh with a pickup of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Delgado looking to throw again. Lobs this one high. And had it been down low, I think it would have been completed. But because it was a high throw, the defense was able to get there and knock it away. Got a false start on the offense. And NIMITZ will take the false start.
Looked like Lazaro Pena, the guy that they threw to there, only 5'7" and a $130.
So maybe it wasn't that high a throw after all. That's what you're saying. 2nd and 10 for the Generals.
If you look on the field right now, number 1, Joshua Eaton, who had that last touchdown, is not out on the field on offense for MacArthur.
Cougars trying to get a stop here. Delgado now is forced to run, and he'll take it out for a pickup of about 6 yards. That's got the coaches in the booth next to us pretty hot.
When you're 6'1" and 230 pounds with the body of a middle linebacker, that's not something you want to see as an offensive coordinator, is that?
Now that was a good opportunity for NIMITZ to really make MacArthur come up with a big 3rd down play. Now they have 3rd and manageable, 4 yards to go.
Wayne Crawford talked about this. He talks about he's got a quarterback in the game right now. He's a game manager, so as long as he's not making mistakes, MacArthur has a chance.
Cervantes near side, but he's looking right. The throw is too far for Taylor Eaton. And he was open.
He was open. You saw Delgado right there. He just set back on that back foot. He didn't really step into that throw and just kind of sailed on him. More of a touch pass there when what he really needed was to step into that and give him a good firm bullet pass. He had his man open on the cut. Had exactly what he wanted. Just got a little lazy on that throw off the back foot.
Sanders and Hopkins back deep for the Cougars. High snap, but it's brought up, blocked by NIMITZ and picked up, and it will be run in by number 21, Edwin Dearman. It was blocked by Davion Taylor.
Edwin Dearman, 19
just coming right off the edge, untouched. And what a momentum swing now for NIMITZ High School.
Davion Taylor getting in there.
The punt was blocked by number 20, Davion Taylor, picked up by number 21.
And then picked up by Edwin Dearman, the senior, who takes it to the house. And just like that, the Cougars are back on top, 20-16.
And no game bigger for either one of these teams in this game tonight. They always say big games, a lot of it special teams always coming into play. It comes in play right there.
The extra point is...
Took forever to get through the upright.
Slow to get there, but it's a point nonetheless. And the Cougars take the lead, 21-16. We'll take a break. You're watching KMAX Vype Sports Media Network.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, and this is what we do.
Looking left, throws into the
bad snap again. He hits the turf, and Delgado scoops it up. Cameron Wilkins
has corner of the end zone. 10, 5, touchdown. Let us broadcast your team. Send an email to Merle@KMAXSports.com or Chuck at KMAXSports.com to find out how.
Side, he's got blockers in front of him.
10,
Touchdown.
5, touchdown.
Yes, sir.
It's what we do, and nobody does it better. We are KMAX Sports.
Socialize with us.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click. It's real easy, man.
On Twitter @KMAX Sports or catch us on Facebook. Search KMAX Sports. Just another way KMAX Sports is bringing your teams to you.
And the Cougars will kick off after scoring, after the defense comes through with a big play. It's picked up at the 5-yard line. Got some run room up the middle and finally brought down, I think that was Quincy Jack with a tackle.
Taylor Eaton on the return, and that's Coach Crawford talking about that. He's got to find ways to get Eaton the football. Depth is a concern, and we've seen Eaton in the backfield tonight. Now we see him on special teams. We still haven't seen him in the slot, but I'd like to see him come through that slot, maybe a jet motion, handoff, some of those bubbles, just trying to get him the ball in space. You got to get the ball to your athletes.
So offsides for the Cougars, and they'll mark that off. You know, with 2:44 to go here in the first half, we've only had one punt, and it was blocked.
You're probably not going to see a whole lot more punts unless I don't know. I don't know if after that, if you get a guy like that coming right off the edge as easily as NIMITZ was able to, I'd be a little nervous if I was MacArthur to punt the football. But of course, the situation probably dictating that. You had a lead, so you don't want to gamble too much.
MacArthur are happy to make NIMITZ re-kick this one at a greater distance. We'll back it up another 5.
A big return from here, or big return here from MacArthur could kind of swing that momentum back towards the general side.
Vasquez to kick off. And this one he boots pretty good. Uh-oh, it goes to the wrong guy, though. He brings it out to about the 40-yard line. Ramel Marks is probably not the guy he meant to kick that to.
And now 2:35, and they have 2 timeouts, I believe, remaining, and this is a manageable situation for MacArthur. You talk about Delgado being a game manager. Had you pinned him deep, now you're looking at a very difficult situation. But giving him the ball at the 39-yard line, this is certainly something that's realistic for MacArthur here before the break.
Both teams with a couple of timeouts. Quick outlet pass, great one-handed grab. And oh my goodness, there goes Eaton. Taylor down the sideline, he's gone.
And where was he at right there, Joe? In the slot, just a little bit of a bubble pass, and we talked about it. That's the one place that they have not gotten him the football yet tonight. They find him right there. They get him the ball in space, and actually he was stopped. Just an athlete with a little bit of room to maneuver, and a huge touchdown there for MacArthur.
So Taylor Eaton with a touchdown run and now a touchdown catch.
The Generals had to stop the bleeding. And now you almost just wonder, did they score too fast?
they left a lot of time on the clock for NIMITZ.
And as a coach, I'm sure you're not going to be too picky. You always want the points. They're going to go for 2 here.
Rolling out, got his man on the right side. Eyes are good, but they're not that good. I have to use the binoculars.
Number 18 there.
So Cervantes with the catch for the 2-point conversion, and they lead 24-21 with 2:20 left until halftime.
So maybe I spoke too soon about this potentially being a foot race and a high-scoring game. The way they were chewing up clock in the early going, I thought this might be a low-scoring game, but then you took the opportunity to jinx us, talking about how fast this game was going, and now all of a sudden an explosion of points here in the second quarter.
And there's the replay. There's the one-handed catch. It's an amazing catch, and then a little sidestep, and he was gone. Wow, what a great play and athletic play by Taylor Eaton.
Right about the time the ball hits his hands, he had a defender on him right away, and not a great tackle, just a shifty move to make him miss, and there was nothing between him and the goal line after that initial move. Just a little bit of over pursuit there by NIMITZ, and the ball in the hands of playmakers is always a dangerous thing.
And Eric Delgado will wake up tomorrow with a couple hundred yards passing, and he'll have a couple of guys to thank for that, as they took short passes and really took it, put some yardage behind them. Man, oh man. What a back and forth game we have here tonight. It's a quick kick up the middle, gets by one guy, finally picked up by Sanders. Timberland gonna take it up the gut, and he dropped about the 31-yard line with 2:12 to go until halftime.
That's a win right there for MacArthur. Being able to pin NIMITZ inside their own 35-yard line, they'll take that every time. Benefited a little bit by the fact that the Cougars mishandled the football.
Yeah, most of them been out near midfield, so you're right, they'll take that. But still, plenty of time here for this Cougar offense.
We'll see if they go right back to the pass or they try to get Javon Davis established on the ground again.
High formation, trying to get a little offsides call. Davis off right tackle, and he finally gets dropped.
A little extracurricular coming in there now is
and Gaston with the high hit. Let's see what's the call here.
Johnny Batts kind of jumping out of there, pointing to MacArthur. You got to think maybe he was the one wrapped up in that, and he was just happy he didn't get penalized.
Wow, so the personal foul ends up tacking on some big yards here, so a first down carry ends up being a monster carry thanks to the 15-yard penalty.
So disregard the good field position that we, or the poor field position, which wasn't bad field position, but given what they've had tonight, it was poor field position. Now the field is flipped, and it's going in again.
First and 10 from the Generals 42. Remo looking to throw. He's got his man deep. Going to the corner, and it's another step. Reynolds got held up just a little bit.
MacArthur got away with one right there. It's that second burst when the ball was in the air and he was trying to get to it. MacArthur, a little bit of a hold there, just kind of slowing him down enough that he couldn't run underneath that ball. And that's what you teach your DBs to do, and just hope they don't get caught. MacArthur gets away with one right there.
Armando with the coverage out there on Reynolds. He's second and 10. Looking to throw again. Got the slant if he wants it. Caught by Reynolds. And it'll be close to a first down. I think he'll have enough. Yes, he will.
MacArthur went for the big hit right there rather than scraping through and trying to dislodge the football. And good job by Reynolds hanging on.
Hurry up offense again by the Cougars. Remo still looking to throw. Going to roll left. Doesn't have a man. He'll keep it and run himself. Got 4, 5, 6 before he's run out of bounds. He'll stop the clock with 1:31 to go.
Remo, not a lot of rushing yards on the year, but I tell you what, he's a pretty shifty runner in his own right. Now MacArthur going to have to take a timeout here. The last thing you want to do is give up anything more than a field goal. You feel pretty good if you're Wayne Crawford going into the halftime break with a tie score or with a lead.
A little bit of a chess match going too as NIMITZ goes hurry up offense. MacArthur uses one of his timeouts to try to slow things down, get his guys set, and like I said, maybe get him a little breather.
Yep, catch their breath. That's the big part. Now we'll see as they approach the red zone here for NIMITZ. Does MacArthur adjust their defense, or do they keep sitting back in that cover 4 that really, I'm not even sure if you could call it a loose man that we've seen a couple of times, but they're just leaving those slants wide open.
Well, throw this back to you. We talked about it a minute ago. NIMITZ also has got to think about not scoring too quickly here. So he's second and short, a couple of runs, maybe run some clock off before punching this thing in, because man, oh man, the way these two teams are going at it, it's not going to take much to put some points on the board.
If you would have told me before the game that we would see MacArthur score 2 touchdowns on huge plays, I might have told you that you were crazy. But they have scored with the courtesy of the Eaton brothers. They have scored on the big play here in the first half.
Here we go. Hand off up the middle. That's kind of what we called. Run some clock. Javon Davis, I think he'll have enough for the first down. It's going to be extremely close.
And Cougars still with 2 timeouts here, so very much in control of the situation. You got the timeouts. You can down the ball if you need to.
Oh, quick screen out to Timberland Sanders. He breaks the tackle. 5, 4. Did he get in?
He's down at the 1.
That actually is probably the best thing that could have happened for the Cougars.
If I were them, I'd let this clock run all the way down before I take my next snap right here.
We have a player down for MacArthur. Looks like number 44, Saul Hernandez. And they'll take a official timeout to check on him. But Sanders with just a nice quick out, breaks back to the middle of the field, breaks the tackle around the 7-yard line, and gets down to the 1 where it will be 1st and goal for the Cougars.
Timberland Sanders is just such an athlete for this team. I mean, just so many explosive players for NIMITZ. And Timberland Sanders spent a little bit of time at the beginning of the season, if you look back to their early stats, actually spending some time at quarterback. Him and Remo were splitting time. But putting him out at receiver, maybe one of the best things that they've done, and just putting that athlete next to his name and just allowing him to go make plays.
The number 5 receiver in the district has almost 400 yards and averages just under 19 yards a catch. 3 touchdowns on the year, his longest a 58-yard reception. And Carl Reynolds, as you mentioned earlier, he leads the district. So a couple of big-time receivers for this NIMITZ offense.
And really 2 similar receivers in Timberland Sanders and Carl Reynolds. One in Sanders, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Carl Reynolds, 6'1", 175. So, you know, you have kind of 2 options, and you see how they spread them out on both sides of the field. It makes it incredibly difficult to know which direction NIMITZ is going to go here.
So Hernandez is hobbling off the field. It looks like a right knee problem.
We are set to resume play. The NIMITZ Cougars have the ball.
I'll tell you this, Joe, I played the lottery the other night and I didn't win, obviously. But if I were going to bet here, I would bet that they're going to give the ball to Javon Davis. You're 1 yard away. Why not?
It's 1st and goal. Remo letting some clock run off. 44 seconds.
I would let this run all the way down. Let it run down to 1 second, 2 seconds.
19 on the snap clock.
This is a smart move for NIMITZ here. Don't leave any time for the Generals when they get this football back.
And guess who's got it? And he walks in untouched.
I like the odds right there.
Well, they let about 4 extra seconds run off the clock.
I've been noticing that here. That's the benefit, I guess, of even though both teams playing here at WW Thorne Stadium, this is the district field. I think NIMITZ is considered the home team tonight, so maybe a little bit of a home advantage. I don't know.
Definitely some time did run off.
That's not the first time that's happened. That's happened a couple times here in this first half.
Sold out of Thorndale. You have a few minutes to get to the concession stand.
27-24. The extra point is wide right, but it's not. It sneaks through.
If you notice who's holding right there, the holder for NIMITZ is Timberland Sanders. Talk about an athlete being able to do a plethora of things. Timberland Sanders with the hold there. And now the Cougars 28-24. They take that momentum back. And this has been nothing but a huge game of momentum swings, especially here in the second quarter.
Davis with the 1 yard touchdown run gives the Cougars the lead. You can see him running off for right tackle, just goes in untouched. And I think you or I could have probably run that one in.
Yep, that was a
great job blocking up front.
And he actually runs the direction that the blocker came from. They kick out on the left side of the offense, and he runs back to where the motion came from. Nobody there as MacArthur kind of over-adjusts to the motion there and just leaves a huge hole right off the right end. And yeah, like you said, pretty much could have driven my truck through that hole. There's nobody there. This is true. Not going to get this president and producer tonight, Chuck Licata, just saying, as long as you're not driving your truck in Houston, you're okay. And that's because it's bumper-to-bumper traffic everywhere you go.
And wisely taken to the ground immediately is Rodriguez. Gives you 19 seconds left to do something with. And the way MacArthur's been throwing the football, wide receivers have been making plays. You just never know.
You know, I think I'd take a chance, and maybe I'm a gambler here, but I think I'd take a chance. You've had, even if you do something safe with a bubble, something in the flat, I think I'd take a chance here and see if you can't swing this momentum back going into halftime. You notice who's at the top of the screen now is Josh Eaton back in the game. He took the last series off. The cornerback now back at receiver.
And he's got man-to-man coverage out there. This is the handoff. Throw to Marks around the right end. He picks up about 15 yards on the carry and gets out of bounds with 10 seconds to go. Now you can really gamble a little bit
Now you have
more.
to, I think. That's a conservative play call, just hoping that maybe you break something, which is what they do there. And now I think you can take that chance, because even if you do turn the ball over, taking a shot deep, as long as you can tackle, you're going to keep NIMITZ from scoring here before the break. But I'd take my chances here, still with one timeout. Maybe a short route, get yourself to the sideline, get another 8-10 yards on this, and then take you a shot to the end zone.
We do have a NIMITZ player down on the far sideline, actually out of bounds, but unable to see a number thus far. As players take a knee. Be an injury timeout. So unfortunately, a couple of back-to-back injuries, one on each team here right before the end of the half. It's kind of slowed things down.
That's your fault, Joe. We talked about that earlier. That's that pitcher pitching a perfect game, and you've done so many baseball broadcasts in your career, and you would think you would know. And then we got the game is moving at a clip. Everything's going perfect.
I do know that for baseball. I'm still learning that for football.
You learn something new every day, right? A round of applause as our NIMITZ player. Who was that?
I think it's Marsavius Hopkins.
He seems to be walking under his own power with the training staff, and so that's a good sign for NIMITZ.
Again, it's a slow walk, very, very, very similar to the one Saul Hernandez made. So I don't know. There's no discernible limp. I think maybe he was just shook up. Like they're asking a lot of questions. Probably like, do you know where you are?
That's what you hope it's not, is something like a concussion. That's so detailed in today's game.
So 10 seconds to go. Generals have a decision to make.
Josh Eaton's in the game, but his brother Taylor is not.
Maurice Woods in the backfield, and he's looking to throw. And they're going to have to probably call a quick timeout. 4 seconds.
See what happens with this clock.
3 seconds. And they're going to just let it run out. Man, I don't know. If you had a timeout to spend, why not spend it?
I think I'd have taken a chance right there. You press something to the corner of the end zone to where even if you miss, if the ball sails out of the back of the end zone, if it goes out the sideline, it's a low risk right there, but a high reward if you have an opportunity to score. And I think a chance to take back some of that momentum here before the break would have been huge for MacArthur, but they're content to go into the break down by 4.
And, I mean, you saw earlier the jump ball. Eaton can win those, so, you know, I'm like you. I think that'd been worth a shot. But they elect to go into halftime trailing by 4. The Cougars in a back-and-forth battle with MacArthur Generals. They lead this one 28-24. Will we be playing bands here shortly, Chuck? Okay, we will hear from both bands, so stay tuned. We're going to tune in to both of those. But we'll take a quick break first before we do that. You're watching Aldine ISD football on KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
Hey, have you liked us on Facebook yet?
Whoa, stop right there.
Well, why not? Search KMAXSports.com and like us now.
At KMAX Sports, we want to make sure you get the whole game. So we'll take a moment here to clean your speakers.
Clean sonic delivery. This is KMAX Sports.
We hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. And while all of us at the KMAX Sports Network are huge football fans, we broadcast more than just football, you know. In fact, KMAX Sports proudly broadcasts volleyball, girls and boys basketball, softball, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, and more. For more information on how you can help KMAX Sports broadcast any of those sports, just reach out to Chuck at KMAXSports.com or Merle at KMAXSports.com or contact that sports booster club directly. KMAX Sports will gladly work with you and the booster clubs to get that team's broadcasts on the air. And if you're a fan of the other team, well, we can broadcast your team's games too. We realize that, yes, even in Texas, there's more to life than just football. KMAX Sports, bringing your teams to you for 14 years.
Vype Media is the state's most comprehensive high school sports media outlet, covering UIL, private schools. Vype has been in Texas for over a decade. Visit their website at Vype, VYPE, and also pick up your Vype magazine today. Get in the game with Vype Media.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, and this is what we do.
Looking left, throws into the end zone. Snap again. He hits the turf, and Delmar scoops it up. Cameron Wilkins
corner on the end zone.
10, 5, touchdown.
Let us broadcast your team. Send an email to Merle at KMAXSports.com or Chuck at KMAXSports.com to find out how.
Side, he's got blockers in front of him.
10,
Touchdown.
5, touchdown.
Yes, sir.
It's what we do, and nobody does it better. We are KMAX Sports.
Back here at halftime at Thorne Stadium, you've got a very adventurous game, 28-24 Cougars over the Generals, getting ready to throw down to the field for halftime. Just a little note going on, just a little bit south of us. The Houston Texans have now taken a 13-7 lead. Dolphins grabbed the lead first, Kenyon Drake with a touchdown run, but Texans tied it right before the end of the first quarter, and now Watson has hit Jay Thomas for a 13-yard touchdown. Extra point pending there at 14-14 of the second quarter. And it's the Texans with a lead pending the extra point. Should be 14-7 Texans over the Dolphins. Meantime, we take it down to the field. Time now to watch and enjoy the Aldine MacArthur Band.
And now, the Aldine Independent School District and MacArthur High School, Dr. Latonya Goffin, Superintendent, Dr. Todd Davis, Assistant Superintendent, Heather Peterson, MacArthur High School Principal, and Dee Ann Delgado, MacArthur's 9th grade school principal, proudly present the Jamming Generals. Tonight, the Jamming Generals perform the music Jose Antonio Diaz as they present their 2018 UIL shows entitled Eternal Voices, in memory of the lives lost during school last year.
So deep in my heart, not a day goes by without me asking why you left us so soon. Tears of love running all through my soul, longing to hold you again. Tears of love running all through my soul, crying to hold you again. Tears of love running all through my soul, crying to hold you again.
This concludes the graduate portion of the halftime activities. Thank you for your kind attention. We hope you enjoyed our show.
All right, so there's the MacArthur band coming up. Will be what we believe will be the homecoming ceremonies for the home team, NIMITZ Cougars, who have the 28-24 lead here at halftime. Just an update from NRG Stadium. Texans with the football right now, and it's the combined running game of Albert Blue and Lamar Miller that's carrying him. Deshaun Watson, 5 for 6 for 61 yards. He has the one touchdown pass. Texans lead the Dolphins 14-7, 11:03 to go second quarter. Texans driving at the moment. They're at their own 43-yard line. Let's take you back out to the field with the NIMITZ Cougars high school band.
So now sit back, relax, enjoy your NIMITZ as they perform to NFL on Fox. Dance officers are Lieutenant Skylar Cherrier, Vanessa Orlando, and Samantha Winston. Captain, Miss Jasmine Iglesias. Your Admiral, Kaylin Lopez. Social officers are squad leaders Alexis Reyna and Vanessa Torres. Vice presidents are Maria Funes and Elise Munoz. Spirit Angel of the Week is Cynthia Vega. Angel of the Week is Juliana Perez. Officer of the Week is Miss Kaylin Lopez. You'll be at the edge of your seat and your feet will tap to the beat as the Angels perform tonight's charity team tune, Uprising. NIMITZ, here are your Angels.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Thorn Stadium, Aldine, ISD, and to tonight's homecoming activities for NIMITZ High School. We would like to thank Aldine ISD school board members, Superintendent Dr. LaTanya Goffney, Dr. Crystal Watson, NIMITZ Senior High School Principal, and you, the community. At this time, I'd like to introduce the 2018 NIMITZ High School Homecoming Court. The Homecoming Duke and Duchess, Prince and Princess, and the King and Queen nominees were selected by their respective classes. Representing the freshman class, Duke Kenyon Hadley, escorted by his sister, Jasmine Bennett, and Duchess Dynasty Watts, escorted by her parents, Leonard Watts and Paula Hayes Watts. Representing the sophomore class, Duke Ryan Gooseman, escorted by his mother, Christina Munoz, and Duchess Melanie Montoya, escorted by her mom, Iris Durato, and her sister, Kimberly Montoya. Representing the junior class, Prince Isaac Huerta, escorted by his mother, Martha Huerta, Princess Jocelyn Gomez, escorted by her mother, Donna Gomez. The 2018 NIMITZ High School King and Queen nominees come from the senior class. The nominees include Ava Chang is being escorted by her mother, Nancy Martinez, and her father, Tony Chang. Ava is involved in National Honor Society and Educational Talent Search. She plans to attend Rice University and major in architecture. Danielle Sullivan is being escorted by her mother, Linda Sullivan. She is involved in varsity soccer, the Roaring Cougar Band, National Honor Society, Dream Team, Science National Honor Society, and Educational Talent Search. She plans to attend New York University and major in journalism. Abigail Tack is escorted by her father, Jason Tack. Abigail is involved in FFA, National Honor Society, Dream Team, and tennis. She plans to attend Texas Tech University and major in animal science. Anthony James is escorted by his mother, Rashida James. He is involved in Business Professionals of America, varsity track, and mixed varsity choir. Anthony plans to attend Texas A&M University or the University of North Texas and major in biology. Brian Wynn is escorted by his mom, Kimberly Wynn. He is involved in the Roaring Cougar Band, swim team, Business Professionals of America, National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, Science National Honor Society, Educational Talent Search, and Dream Team. Bruce plans to attend the University of Texas at Austin and major in computer sciences. Eduardo Romero is escorted by his mother, Marcela Castro, and grandmother, Lucia Amador. He is involved in varsity soccer where he is a captain, National Honor Society, and Dream Team. Eduardo plans to attend Baylor University and major in mechanical engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 2018 NIMITZ High School and 9th grade Center Homecoming Court. At this time, we will now announce our homecoming king and queen for the 2018-2019 school year. Our homecoming king for 2018-2019 is Anthony James. homecoming queen for the 2018-2019 school year is Danielle Sullivan. Let's have another round of applause for the 2018-2019 homecoming kings, queens, and their court. Special thanks go out to the Rowing Cougar Band and Starboard Angels and the JROTC Honor Guard. Also, a big thanks to Student Council, National Honor Society, and other organizations for organizing the homecoming activities and school decorations. Thank you for your attention this evening.
So the homecoming king and queen are crowned, and Joe, unfortunately, you were not named either one.
You know, I put your name in at the beginning,
Yeah.
and I thought just on notoriety alone you might be able to walk away with this crown.
Yeah.
But nope, another year's gone by, and we're still in second place.
By the way, happy to be part of the Vype family here in Houston, and Joe and Brandon MacArthur, and now Aaron Schneider, who's getting his inauguration in tonight, and thrilled to get the Aldine ISD folks on board, bringing you one live broadcast a week. And Joe, I missed doing Concordia games with you, but man, it is so good to have you on the air here in Houston.
It's almost I'm having flashbacks, man. You know, you and I have done so many games together, but it's been mainly baseball games at Concordia.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to be back in the broadcast booth together, and it's awesome to be out here at Thorne Stadium. It's a nice place, and
it's a beautiful stadium.
I'm so glad Aldine has picked us up.
I may have to get Brandon to let me come over and produce. Man, this is great.
It's a nice setup. I'm surprised Brandon passed on this one tonight for some school function. He said.
Yeah, I know. Whatever.
I'm guessing there's a girl involved.
Yeah. Okay, we'll leave that at that. By the way, you coming to Arkansas with me in March?
I'm checking it.
You know, it just wouldn't be right if we didn't have a reunion.
I honestly don't think you can afford me to go again.
Oh man! Speaking of scores, there is one other NFL update to give you. Actually, same score. The Texans lead the Miami Dolphins 14-7. They're at 3:06 to go in the third quarter. Dolphins driving, and of course the return, inauspicious return of Brock Osweiler to Houston as the starting quarterback of Miami. Gee, I'll bet he got a standing ovation when the game started, huh?
Well, you know, he looked on the schedule. He wants nothing more than to beat the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
But good grief, surely the Texans can beat Brock Osweiler with a team that's missing their top two wide receivers.
You would think. Meantime, Cougars getting ready to start. Well, I want to thank Carl Ansel for manning the camera, which allowed Aaron Schneider to come in and do a great job doing color. So I will give the headset to him, and Mr. Joe, you and Aaron for the start of the second half. By the way, if the half gets going like pretty quick, don't say anything, okay? Don't say anything about the clock moving quickly.
Yeah, Aaron.
Please. Aaron.
I say that while Aaron's off headset. And a shout out to our QA Rosie Vega as well. MacArthur will have the ball to start the second half, and it will be deep in their own territory. Good coverage downfield by the Cougars.
Still not kicking the ball deep is NIMITZ. Just a little onside style squib kick, and actually the mishandling kind of pins MacArthur deep here to start half number 2.
Aaron, honestly, in the games I've watched so far here at this stadium, this district has kicked off that way. It's very rare that you see him kick straight away.
That is so interesting to me. But then again, we're seeing a lot of, there's a lot of athletes between these two teams, and I imagine across the district.
Mark's in the backfield. He'll take the handoff and get hit immediately. And he'll lean forward for maybe half a yard.
And both Eaton brothers are in the game as we start half number 2. You started to look toward the end of the first half, and they were never in the game at the same time. In fact, when they scored both of their touchdowns, neither one, the opposite brother, was on the sideline. So,
yeah, Joshua Eaton near side to us, Taylor on the far side. He has the inside slot.
You got to wonder if that's about keeping them fresh, maybe two of their biggest playmakers.
Mark's still the only running back out. They'll roll out to the left, and he'll hit Marks on a short screen. Let's see if he picked up the first down. It's going to be close. And he will.
That's the play in the first half that they tried to hit that Delgado threw off his back foot and kind of floated out of bounds. That time rolling, steps into it, gets a good firm throw, and that's good for a first down.
And with Eaton taking the defenders upfield, it's just an easy pitch and catch. And speaking of pitch and catch, that's what they do right here to Marks, and he'll be driven out. Very short yardage gain there for Marks.
Just never able to catch the edge there. NIMITZ has done a good job of that throughout the evening, just stringing plays along and using that sideline as an extra defender. And a gain of about 2, but that's kind of a win there if you keep them from breaking the ball down the field.
Good side-to-side speed for both squads. Most of the damage has been done right up the middle for NIMITZ for sure. Three wide receivers now split out right. And the handoff is up the middle. And Marks picks up another 3-4 yards. And it'll be 3rd down and 2.
And both teams have done that quite a bit. They run the trips receivers, 3 receivers to the short side of the field.
Oh.
There's a false start
there. False start by Joshua Eaton.
And you wonder if they may have been targeting him right there, just anxious to get off the line.
Yeah. Well, you would hope so, because if he's not in part of that play, his coach is going to be very mad. See, why are you even moving?
And this is one of the first times as well you've also seen both Eaton brothers on the same side of the field throughout the first half. They weren't in the game very much toward the end of the half, but at the beginning of the half, they were splitting them on 2 sides of the field. They were spread out. And that last formation, they had them on the same side. Now after the penalty, they're going to split them up again.
Yeah, Pena will check out, and Bryce Noel Camper will come in as a tight end. That's a big target. And they don't like the look of that, so a timeout. MacArthur will burn their first timeout. And we'll go to our first break here of the second half. You're watching Aldine Independent School District Football on KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
From West Texas all the way to the bayou and all points in between.
I saw miles and miles of Texas.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, bringing your teams to you.
At KMAX Sports, we want to make sure you get the whole game. So we'll take a moment here to clean your speakers.
Clean sonic delivery. This is KMAX Sports. Socialize with us.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click. It's real easy, man.
On Twitter, at KMAX Sports. Or catch us on Facebook. Search KMAX Sports. Just another way KMAX Sports is bringing your teams to you.
Back, everybody. Joe Hollier and Aaron Snyder bringing you second half action between the Aldine NIMITZ Cougars and MacArthur Generals. 28-24, the Cougars lead this one. And a 3rd down for MacArthur, and Delgado just runs and throws that one out of bounds as he didn't have anybody open downfield, and that'll bring up 4th down. And here we go, Aaron. Last time they tried to punt, it ended up being 6 points for NIMITZ.
a little bit more breathing room perhaps here to punt. They were pinned a little bit more inside the shadow of their own end zone last time, but I don't know, after seeing what we saw the last punt, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable anywhere on the field. It's just a straight free rush off the edge.
Yeah, Davion Taylor, nobody touched him. This time they have a couple more in the backfield to try and keep them out, and they do. Kicks away, good kick. And fair catch.
That was dangerous there. The punter almost went down to a knee. You saw that at a low snap, and he kind of had to go baseball field it. And he was awfully close to being down there to put a knee. And you see the official in the white hat down here on the near sideline talking to the coach, and he's kind of showing that motion of exactly what he did. He got underneath the ball, didn't put his knee down, because the coaches saw the same thing I saw. That was awfully close, and that would have been a disaster for MacArthur.
Javon Davis in the backfield behind Remo. The handoff is to Davis, and he gets through the initial line of scrimmage, still on his feet. And there's that 2-3 yards at the end that we've been talking about. It'll be enough for a first down. Another 10-yard carry for Javon Davis.
And you saw them go away from Javon Davis a little bit in the second quarter, and maybe you think now he comes out after halftime a little more refreshed, because they rode him hard in the first quarter. As carry after carry went to Davis.
And the hurry-up offense back in there. Davis again, left side, shakes off another tackle, and it's another big run for Javon Davis, this time for 15 yards and a first down.
Javon Davis, not a big guy. We said 5'3", 160, but he just keeps his legs moving all the time.
Maurice Woods down for MacArthur as he was in on the tackle of Davis.
It would be a big loss for MacArthur if he has to spend any extensive time out of this football game as, you know, a 6 foot, 187-pound sophomore linebacker. Last week he forced a fumble and had 7 tackles as head coach Wayne Crawford talked about Maurice Woods really coming into his own, establishing a starting role on this team. And didn't start that way at the beginning of the season, but he's kind of worked his way into that starting role, and that would leave a huge gap in the middle of this defense for MacArthur.
Keep an eye for me on Maurice Woods and see how quickly he comes back into the game. This could be a stalling tactic when NIMITZ is going on the hurry-up offense.
This is true as well, not to mention just to give MacArthur a break. I mean, I don't know if you can say it enough with the lack of depth on this team and so many two-way players. It's not like you look at with most 6A public schools and just such a large roster that guys can only play on one side of the ball or the other, but you see athletes playing on both sides of the football tonight, and this may be a product of a little bit of that, just it's being gassed and needing a break.
He's up, limping on the left leg, but going off under his own power. It may take him a while to get off, too. This game has really gone back and forth. Aldine took an early 7-0 lead. An Eaton touchdown run made it 7-7, and then MacArthur retook the lead at 10-7. Josh Eaton catch made it 16-7, and then Remo to Reynolds made it 16-14, and then the block punt gave NIMITZ the lead at 21-16. And then Taylor Eaton's one-handed catch put him back in for MacArthur back in front, 24-21. And then Davis with the 1-yard touchdown run has them at 28-24. And it's Davis up the middle again. He's got one man to beat. My goodness, he went right around him. It's a race to the end zone, and he'll make it. Wow, what a run by Javon Davis.
Just a huge hole right up the middle. A great job by the line opening up a massive hole. And once he's through it, if he has to make one man miss, he can do it every time. And he's shown that throughout the evening. And that's another big run for Javon Davis.
Well, generally your safety's one of your speed guys, and they meet head to head. Javon just went right around him.
He's so shifty. I mean, the ability, if you look at these running backs, sometimes if you catch these guys on camera still shots, you see they never run straight up and down. They've got lean to them. And a great job leaning there with a good cut. I think Davis will win that battle every single time.
So with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third quarter, another long Javon Davis touchdown runs extends the Cougars lead to 35-24 over the MacArthur Generals. There you see him getting caught about the 1 yard line, but man, I'm telling you, there has not, and I've seen 2 games of his now, and I can't tell you if anybody's ever knocked him backwards after initial contact.
There's only been 1 game this season that he has been held under 100 yards, and he was limited to 39 against Davis, but every other time he's rushed for 100 yards at least. Maid Creek, he had 187 and 4 TDs. Against Decaney, 262 and 4 more TDs. So that's some big numbers in single games this year.
It's the Decaney game that I got to see, and Decaney was ready. They stopped him this first 10 carries. They stacked the line of scrimmage and said, come on, bring it. And I mean, on the 11th carry, the same play, he was gone, similar to what we just saw.
An explosive back, and we said it before too, only a sophomore, so a lot to look forward to with Javon Davis.
Another squib kick, and it's going to be great field position for MacArthur. My goodness.
Start right at midfield, and that's been a common theme for both teams, is this field position. It seems like almost every time we've started a drive, they've been right here at the midfield stripe in front of us.
Yeah, again, I don't know the reasoning there. I'm sure
they probably get paid a lot more to do that than we get to do this. So I guess we'll let them make that decision. But with a lead as well, I mean, just you give such a short field to MacArthur here.
Oh wow, quarterback keeper. Not sure that's the way it was drawn up, but it was effective. Gain of about 7 for Delgado.
And Crawford talked about that was something that they've struggled with this year with their starting quarterback going down in the second game of the season. They've struggled with the zone read. And I don't know if it's as much as they struggle with the read, is that you just don't have a running quarterback in Delgado. But he gets 7 there.
Second short. Marks is going to be short of the first down, and it'll bring up 3rd and about 1.
The good thing you have with Delgado is a guy that doesn't run very much, is not as shifty, so he tends to get north-south very quickly.
Well, as we mentioned, he's a linebacker as well. I mean, so you get that much muscle moving forward, you're going to move the pile.
Yep, you get the benefit of when you fall forward just about every single time. And so now they're going to come up. They're going to be short here, about a long yard for MacArthur.
And the handoff is to Mark straight up, and he will pick up the first down.
A little stutter step from Marks, and that's going to be good for a first down. And I tell you, that's a huge first down at this point in the game. Number one, it keeps the clock moving. And even though they're behind right now, MacArthur wants to see this clock wind down with them in position late in a close game. And so to keep the sticks moving, keep the clock running, this kind of plays into the hand, I think, of MacArthur just a little bit.
1st and 10 from the 37.
I think you're in a situation here, this is a must-score drive as well.
Delgado, handoff to Marks, left side around the end, and he'll be wrestled down there by number 45, Michael West.
It's a good kick out there from MacArthur. The Generals get a kick out and then a good down block and then a little bit of over pursuit from him. It's opened up that hole out on the edge, and that's a big gain on first down. And we're looking at a game like this. I think MacArthur, you have a quarterback that's a game manager. He's not a risk taker, and the further you get behind here, you got to take more risks.
Marks around left side again. This time he's met by Edwin Dearman.
That's good enough for another first down, though. This is what MacArthur is comfortable, the Generals are comfortable doing, is just steady dose of hand it off, hand it off, hand it off. Lull NIMITZ to sleep, and then I would keep an eye on Josh Eaton down here at the bottom of your screen, because I have a feeling they're getting ready to throw something up to him as they approach the red zone.
The other thing is they're giving their defensive players a big rest here. Looking to throw, left side, caught and out of bounds.
And here's where this becomes a problem for MacArthur as well. As you look at Josh Eaton down at the bottom of your screen, he took about 2 steps and stood there on that play. And so if he's only going to go hard when the ball's coming to him, you pretty much tell the defender right away the ball's not coming. I can now, unless he's baiting him and setting him up and he's about to run a fade, but
Cesar Cervantes with the catch. Pick up a 5 yards. Second 5. And quarterback keeper, look at big man go! Breaks 3, 4, 5 tackles down to the 1 yard line. And there's that momentum we said once we got that big frame going, it was hard to bring down.
Stumbled forward for about the last 7 yards, and it wasn't smooth, but I tell you what, Delgado has been very effective tonight running this offense.
And Delgado, around the left side, several NIMITZ players hit him high, and he just shook them off. Hand off to Marks, right up the gut, and I think he's in. He is. So the Generals cut it to 35-30 with the extra point to come. We'll get a Houston Texans update from our president and producer tonight here shortly.
I tell you, there's something to be said for a quarterback that can manage a game effectively and not make mistakes. And if you just ask Alabama how many national championships you can win with a quarterback that doesn't put you in a hole.
The extra point is good. Kind of surprised they didn't go for 2 there, but they do pull within 4 with 4:20 to go here in the 3rd period. Wow, this game has been crazy. There's, see the replay there by Marks as he punches it in from the 1.
Not a huge crease there, but you don't need a whole lot when you're a yard out. Just get a little bit of movement from the line, push them forward, just go big on big there. A little bit of a wrinkle there, and Marks slides right in to the crease, and that's a touchdown. And a big touchdown for MacArthur at this point in the football game.
And I got to go back to the kickoff. I mean, when you're starting at midfield, it makes it really easy when you shorten the field in half. They've just got to get a better job from their special teams. That kickoff has got to improve.
Well, you have a two-score lead at the time. Kicking them deep, pinning them deep, it now forces a running team to have to go the length of the field. A team that they will pass, but they don't like to press the ball down the field a lot. They're more comfortable running it. And we'll see what MacArthur does here, down by 4.
And again, they'll squib it, and great job up front as it's pounced on immediately by Jonathan Limbrick, the sophomore, and NIMITZ will take over on their own 45. Wow. So again, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. You'd have to kick it away to show me that that's somehow better.
I mean, I think there in that situation, if you kick that to a sideline and try a true onside kick, I'm a little bit more comfortable with that than just kicking it into the middle of the field.
Remo with hands off, fakes the pass, and same run again. Are you kidding me? One play, Davis to the house. Unbelievable. That's the exact same play they ran that he scored on their last possession.
And it may be Javon Davis that single-handedly puts this game away for NIMITZ, because right now MacArthur, they're gassed.
Well, and that's got to be, I mean, you have to believe that. There's just no way they can run that play again, and it looks identical to his previous run. They have just got to be out of gas right now. Unbelievable.
Well, Wayne Crawford talked about that with me earlier this week. That's one of the things he said last year as the quarterbacks coach and now taking over in his first year as head coach, that this team had to finish games and play for 48 minutes.
A 55-yard touchdown run, and the extra point is good.
But that becomes a lot more difficult to play 48 minutes when you're playing with a bunch of two-way players and you're chasing a guy like Javon Davis all over the field.
We'll take a short, quick break. You're watching Aldine ISD football on KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
Hey, have you liked us on Facebook yet?
Whoa, stop right there.
Well, why not? Search KMAXSports.com and like us now. Sound off. Tell us what you think right here on Twitter at KMAX Sports.
1, 2, 3, hit!
More coverage of your high school teams. Let's just say we keep it real.
And you know this, man.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
Joe Hollier and Aaron Schneider are back here at Thorne Stadium, where the Cougars lead the Generals 42-31, and the Houston Texans lead the Dolphins 14-10 at halftime, per our superstar media man. And there's the squib kick up the middle again at 30 to the 35, and big hit, and driven back to the 30, but probably giving forward progress out to the 35.
You know, one thing that those types of kicks do is it does mess up your kickoff return. And so anything that you have set up just kind of becomes a free-for-all in terms of get the ball and get up the field. Actually, there was a little bit of a hole up the middle if we're pressing north-south here. And instead, a lot of lateral movement on the return. And this is not terrible field position, but based on where they've started the last couple of drives, this is awful field position. The last drive started at midfield. Going to get going at about the 35 here and have to start on the hash.
Cervantes on the far side, Eaton near side. Man in motion, the handoff up the middle to Marks, and he'll be stopped after a gain of 2.
That's the second time I think we've seen Eaton in that motion across the field. So you got Taylor Eaton coming from the slot on the opposite side. And they're setting something up there, whether it's going to be press Josh Eaton vertical and then just slip Taylor Eaton into the flat for a quick pass. And something is going to come out of that here before too long.
Both Eatons wide right. Taylor on the inside. Joshua on the outside. Mark still in the backfield. And he's looking right. Little screen pass. He got some running. Oh, he dropped the football. Oh, my goodness. He could have run for days. Marks. It was a great play set up because the Eaton boys took the defense downfield. Unfortunately for Marks, he was unable to make the catch.
That's an excellent play call there. You know both Eatons are such a threat, so anytime they press vertical, you've got to make sure they're covered up. They completely leave Marks open in the flat. That was actually not a bad pass. That hit him right in stride. That's all you could ask for from Delgado.
We'll see
just
if they
drop the ball.
Come back to that later in the game because that definitely would have worked. Same formation. Delgado looking for the slant. It's tipped and caught and then dropped. A big hit.
That was number 21, Edwin Dearman for NIMITZ, and he has that touchdown already. And he was one of the players that the coaching staff talked about for NIMITZ as being a big play kind of guy on their defense. He's shown that already with a touchdown off the punt block earlier in this game. And that is a huge hit right there, and that's the receiver that's down on the field. And he actually had an opportunity to catch that ball off the deflection, but just a jarring hit from Dearman knocks it loose, and that's what he's still down on the turf right now.
Yeah, when the tip ball slowed it down enough, that allowed Dearman to lay a clean hit just as he had caught the football and separated him, and man, may have separated a rib. He's on the ground. That's a good hit.
Dearman not a huge guy. I mean, 5'11", 165, but he runs downhill well and great closing speed right there to finish that play.
I'm thinking this is going to be more of a out-of-breath type thing.
If I get hit like that, especially at this age, I tell you, that knocks some air out of me.
That is Cervantes walking off. He is holding, though. He's holding his right arm up. Yeah, it's more than the breath things.
And now another one of those roll the dice punts. That's been a point of contention tonight for MacArthur. They've had one blocked, and on the last one they were narrowly missed a knee on the ground off a low snap.
Kick is away. Fair catch is called for. Man, oh man. And a dangerous catch by Timberland Sanders, but he does make the catch, and the Cougars will take over.
That would have been an answer to a prayer right there had Sanders fumbled that football. And he looked a little scary on the last fair catch, managed to haul it in, and this one even scarier as he was catching that on the run, nearly tripping over his own feet, reaching out to catch that ball. And
well, if they hand this off to Javion off left guard and he goes 69 yards, y'all are going to take over. Nope. Screen out to the right side to Reynolds, and close to a face mask, but gained him about half a yard.
And you see Maurice Woods is back in the game now in his linebacker position. So
I like the play call, but you know that the attention's got to be on Davis. Kind of surprised they only went for half a yard.
It's a good closing speed there from MacArthur.
Looking to throw again. Lots of time. And it's going to throw way downfield and overthrows the intended receiver, Kelvin Hampton.
It's good coverage downfield there from MacArthur, just keeping pace with this receiving core of NIMITZ. And you see NIMITZ moving away a little bit, back-to-back passes. We hadn't seen that much since probably the beginning of the second quarter.
Remo had some room to run. At the last seconds, he saw Hampton down the sideline and tried to hit him, but he just overthrew it. 3rd and 10. Again, 3 passes in a row, going back to Reynolds. Oh, there's a push off. No call. Wow.
And that's a little bit of pushing and shoving by both guys down the line, and I like that no call. That's athlete on athlete there with Reynolds working against Eaton, and that's Eaton's primary position. Josh Eaton is playing that cornerback spot. That's what they like him at the most. He's just such an athlete that by necessity with depth, they've got to put him at receiver where he has a touchdown tonight. But that right there is what Eaton does best, and that's cover up the other team's best receiver.
So with 2:03 left here in the third quarter,
now this is dangerous because they're leaving a man
will punt
open
for the very first time.
Yikes.
Vasquez gets it away, just barely. Good kick. High arching kick, and they let it drop. And it'll be down about the 28-yard line.
That was dangerous
Marks,
right there.
Yeah, that could have bounced off of Marks.
And not even that. If you look down at the bottom of the screen, they had number 27, Amarian Bryant. Nobody covered him up. He just ran off the edge, but had they taken that snap, thrown the ball out to him quick, there was nobody covering him out on the edge.
That's assuming Vasquez can throw the football, but, you know.
This is true, too.
You don't. You just don't know till you see it.
That's everything MacArthur could have wanted on that last drive, getting a 3 and out. And now the offense a chance to get back in this game here.
1:51 in the third. And a nice open field tackle. Is that Dearman again? Dearman's having quite a game. As he'll drop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
On the tackle, number 21, Edmund Dearman.
That's the kind of play you want from a senior safety, coming up and getting a big hit on the last drive. And now coming up and a good tackle there, stringing the play out, bringing down Marks, and it sets him up. That's what you want. You want 2nd, 3rd, and longs for the Generals.
Cesar Cervantes also back in the game for the Generals. Delgado rolls right. There's that screen pass, and it's off the fingertips of Taylor Eaton. And it falls incomplete and brings up a long 3rd and 10.
And you had a 4-over-3 right there. NIMITZ puts 4 defenders over the top of the Eaton brothers, so it was really a 4-on-2 there. 4 guys covering 2 athletes, but you got to think that leaves somebody else on the field open. It's just whether they have enough athleticism to capitalize on the mismatch.
The big tight end goes out. They bring in the extra wide receiver. So trips right. Marks in the backfield. Looking downfield. Delgado rolls out right. He's got a man across the field. It's underthrown, but great adjustment in the air by Taylor Eaton.
There's a reason that Crawford said they had to get Eaton involved in any capacity that they could tonight. And he's not a huge target, but tends to get lost running across the middle there. That's just a simple post route to the middle of the field. They roll right, throw back to the left, and really just a jump ball that you let Eaton go be an athlete on.
Yeah, the information you got from Coach Crawford was right on the money. He said he's got to get the Eaton boys involved, and so far he has. 1st and 10. Handoff to Marks up the middle. A pickup of 4 yards. That'll be second and 6 from the 40-yard line.
You saw Josh Eaton rolling off the field on that last play, kind of diving to the sideline to get out of the field of play prior to the snap. And he goes to the sideline, and he's looking like he might be cramping up down there. He's getting a trainer working on him. So that's something on the far sideline to be aware of as the quarter winds out. It probably couldn't have come at a better time for MacArthur when you get a little bit of a break for Josh Eaton.
Well, the third quarter went really fast.
You did it again. You learned your lesson.
Chuck's getting out a roll of quarters from his briefcase. But the Cougars lead this one as we go to the fourth quarter, 42-31 over the MacArthur Generals. And I'm telling you, this has been a fun game, back and forth, a lot of big plays. I don't know about you. I'm sitting up here, I'm kind of tired.
I tell you what, it's been a track meet down there. A lot of big plays up and down the field from both squads, and it's been entertaining. You
would think, though, that with the numbers game alone, NIMITZ would start winning that battle. But MacArthur has really been hanging tough.
A lot of grit tonight from this team, and you got to think that maybe Wayne Crawford is finally getting through to these guys, talking about changing the culture, playing for 48 minutes, playing with grit, playing aggressive, playing with pride. And I think that you've seen that tonight. This team's definitely not out of this football game, and a score here and a 2-point conversion, it's a 3-point game.
Delgado going to take himself up the middle. A good foot tackle by number 42, Ashad Curry.
And now you get MacArthur back into a 3rd and long. That's where NIMITZ wants the Generals, having to force the ball down the field in long situations, make them make plays. When you got a guy like Delgado who likes to manage the game, not take huge risks. He wants to take very calculated risks. This is going to force his hand a little bit.
Delgado rolling right. Man, they got some speed on that. Oh, scrambles enough, and now he throws up another prayer, and they're going to call holding. It will be pass interference. As he tried to come back for the football, he got held.
The absolute best thing that could have happened right there is a poorly thrown, underthrown ball. And I don't know that Delgado did that on purpose. I think it just the pressure got to him, throwing off the back foot, just kind of threw a duck that hung up there forever. But in that type of situation, when a guy is that far down the field, to have your receivers come back, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a pass interference or a holding call there. And that's exactly what happened. And that's a huge break. And they're trying to play the NFL rules there. It's not a spot foul. It's a 15-yard penalty at the high school game. But I can tell you MacArthur would have loved to have the ball inside the 15-yard line.
Christian Martin is the player that got penalized there for the hold. And it'll bring up first down from the 31. Rolling out to the right is Delgado, runs over one man before he gets pushed back. A short gain of 2, bring up 2nd and 8.
Delgado not much of a runner, but I can tell you he's been running tough tonight when he's been called upon to run.
And that was something else Crawford said. He said, we got a guy that not your typical quarterback build, throws the ball pretty well, but he doesn't run a lot. He hasn't, but you're right. When he has, he's done pretty well. 2nd and 8. Delgado rolls to his left. Screen pass is dropped again. He's just having trouble hooking up with Taylor Eaton on those short screens.
And I like that right there from your quarterback. Delgado, he's kind of barking a little bit at Eaton right there, telling him you'll catch the football. Eaton sticks one hand up there, kind of a lazy effort in that sense. He tries to make that NFL-type grab, and his quarterback barking at him a little bit. Put both hands up, catch the ball, secure it, And I like that from a leader and a quarterback is being able to be willing to get on the guys when they're not doing the little things right. That's the difference in changing a culture, is being able to pay attention to detail.
MacArthur's starting to remind me of the Red Sox with 2 outs on 3rd down as they've been able to convert. It's been their favorite down. Here they are again, 3rd and 8. Delgado looking. He gets hit in the backfield, and he's going to go down. Wow.
And NIMITZ has dialed up the pressure here late in this game, and what they didn't do on that play is MacArthur didn't roll the pocket. They've been moving the pocket and rolling Delgado out. That time they do a straight drop back, and the pressure gets to Delgado. Now you're in a situation you have to go for it on 4th down, and I think the play's got to involve an Eaton, you would imagine.
Lionel Washington, the senior, with the sack.
And both Eatons are in the game.
Brings up 4th and 15.
And here comes the timeout.
9:36. Are we going to stop the clock?
Finally, get those courtesy ticks off the clock here.
Clock is stopped at 9:33 to go here in the 4th quarter. We'll keep it here. Man, this is Generals really, they've got to try and punch this one in, because with the running game that's been so successful for NIMITZ, you know, they could conceivably run out this clock.
This is a tough situation right here. I can tell you that offensive coordinators don't have a lot of plays marked on the sheet to pick up 15 yards at a pop. They've got a lot of plays for 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7, and those manageable situations. But you got to think this might just be one of those jump ball type situations. Go to an athlete and try to let him make a play.
And MacArthur's been very successful in running that jump ball play. Ooh, almost a false start. Delgado's rolling to his right. Does get it away, but he was being dragged down as he was getting rid of the football, and it falls harmlessly incomplete, and the Cougars will take over on downs.
That time they roll him again, and they move that pocket. Pressure still gets to him a little bit, but you really turn that into a one-receiver route. He had Taylor Eaton coming out of the backfield on a wheel, and when you're rolling to the sideline like that, really the only option he had was to throw to the wheel, even though he had Josh Eaton open think away from him. That's just such a difficult throw for any quarterback, especially a high school quarterback at this point in his career.
I think a steady amount of Davis is what we're going to see here. And Davis breaks another 4 or 5 tackles and finally gets flipped on his back out of bounds on the far side. Got to admit, man, that guy's fun to watch.
He is extremely fun to watch. The best part about this, not only for NIMITZ, I think for us being able to do this, and we get to do this for the next couple of years for this district, is being able to have a chance to watch Davis continue to play football. I mean, what an electrifying player, and only a sophomore.
Only a sophomore, you're right. 1st and 10 from midfield. Davis again, right up the middle. And he pushes the pile forward 3 yards. He's 2nd and 7.
And I'm afraid that's going to be the diet that MacArthur's going to get fed here the rest of this game. It's like you said, that steady dose of Javon Davis, just gash him up the middle, send him out on the edge. You may see NIMITZ take a shot here at some point once they draw the Generals in on the run, maybe take a shot down the field to try to put this game away. But if you're getting 5-6 yards a pop, why not keep giving the ball to Davis?
Yep, use all the play clock. At 14 seconds and counting now. Almost 8.5 minutes to go in the game.
I don't know that NIMITZ needs to be in keep away mode just yet. I think they got to just keep handing the ball off. Good things will happen. And there you see them actually go to that pass, trying to get out on the edge to Sanders.
I tell you, Xavier Ruiz and Avante Keaton on defense, they've been great on the on those short passes for MacArthur. They have really done a super job. Darian Gaston, another player that's done well defensively on those short passes. Oh, looking to throw again.
There it is.
A give and go, great pass, and it's, man, I just don't think he picked it up.
I was just about to say that on that last play. You talk about that closing speed of the defense, and typically this is exactly what you do. You kind of get that tunnel go look after they come biting hard on that tunnel route. Then you send the guy deep on the go, that straight vert. You get that double pump, and he had what he wanted. You would have liked to get that ball out a little bit sooner so you're not having to make such a long throw. Because the longer that ball's in the air, you really give the defender time to catch back up. But they had what they wanted. They had an open man streaking down the sideline, and that's always that dangerous, that tunnel and that tunnel go play.
Darian Gaston closed the distance to make it fall incomplete. And NIMITZ will kick it away from the 7. Oh, slips around the 15. Is he still on his feet? No. We dropped inside the 20-yard line, so a long field now for the Generals with 8:02 left, and they are down 2 scores.
And I think NIMITZ maybe started taking those shots down the field a little bit too early. I mean, they were doing so well with Javon Davis, just gash. Then they start going to the pass. There are 2 incomplete passes back-to-back. Not only does it give the ball back to MacArthur, but it stops the clock both times.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if Javon's maybe not 100%, or they just don't feel like he should get 600 yards tonight. Snap is on the ground. Delgado picks it up.
The discussion on the sidelines and whether that's intentional grounding or not. You see a bunch of people asking for that call, and I don't see a flag anywhere, but
I don't see a flag either. But
oh, no, I do now. There it is. I was wondering if it was sitting on the other side of the foot of the official, but he didn't get outside the tackle box, so I figured that. Now they're going to waive this, or they're going to call it?
Oh, they waved it off. They're going to say he was outside of it, but okay.
So that was awfully close, and that's a big, huge break for MacArthur right there.
2nd and 10. And there's the handoff to Marks, and he's not going very far. Man, fighting off a lot of tackles, a lot of effort there, but still just getting back to the original line of scrimmage.
And that last play, you almost had Delgado. He skirted that line of really making his first mistake tonight when he just kind of threw that ball up for grabs, and that could have been a disaster had NIMITZ had somebody there to pick that off, because that would have been a short run to the end zone. So they followed that up with the run, and now MacArthur looking at a 3rd and long again.
Yeah, the guy he threw it to was his right guard. He was just looked really surprised to have the football. Fakes the handoff, and another missed tackle. Wow. Look at the speed there by Eaton.
It's the exact same play they scored on earlier in the game. Just that little bubble, little flare out of the slot spot. And once again, NIMITZ pursues it hard. They had a guy right there in his hip pocket when the ball hit his hands. He shirks the defender, and that's another huge gain for MacArthur. What an athlete is Taylor Eaton.
1st and 10 from the 48. Delgado rolls right. Got a man in the flats. Wide open. The other Eaton cuts right and run out of bounds, but another 1st down for the Generals.
And I agree with the sentiment in the coach's box next to us up here in the booth. You hear him talking about he's wide, stinking open, and how do you not account for Josh Eaton on that? He's absolutely wide open. Nobody within 10 yards of him, and you can't leave an athlete of his caliber that wide open.
He's on the far side from us, and I knew he was open.
That's absolutely. And you just had, what did you say, you had LASIK surgery? So that's
exactly. Delgado with a handoff to Marks, left side. Trying to get around the corner, he does. Good blocking downfield as they ramble all the way down to the 10-yard line, and we have a game again.
This is the shot in the arm that the Generals needed right here, and it comes off the big play from Eaton. And now they're set up. They're going to be right on the 10-yard line going in, and this is a huge series for the Generals.
Cougars wasted an opportunity to go up 3 scores by throwing the football. And Marks, yes, he gets back to the line of scrimmage just barely.
Looked like the exact same play they just ran, had some success on it, so they'll go right back to it. And NIMITZ there to sniff it out. The end does a good job holding his position, turning that play back inside. Just nowhere to run for Marks there.
As you see there on the KMAX Sports clock, 5:41 left in this contest. Play clock's down to 18.
So if MacArthur can score here and they don't kick an onside kick and they kick it deep, I'm going to start wondering what's going on.
Both Eaton's far right. Delgado looking to run. And he'll fall forward for a gain of about 2 yards.
There's some miscommunication on that play right there because Delgado was rolling right to pass the football, and you had Taylor Eaton downfield blocking. He was not ready for a pass right there.
I think they were trying to set up another screen to Taylor, and it just wasn't there, so he took it himself. Under 5 minutes to play. Delgado rolling left. Quick pass, it's caught, and into the end zone is Taylor Eaton. Another touchdown for Eaton.
What hands right there from Taylor Eaton.
5-yard touchdown reception.
Taylor Eaton having his coming out party tonight, and you wouldn't think it, but all it took was Armando Ordeñana, one of the top receivers, the top receiver, or one of the top 2 receivers in this district, being out with an injury, and now all of a sudden, look what they found in Taylor Eaton.
The extra point is not going to get there. Why wouldn't you go for 2 there to try to get within a field goal?
I'm starting to significantly question some of the kicking decisions that happen in this district, because that's a prime opportunity right there to go for 2. Whether you get it or not, you're still going to have to score another touchdown.
There's the end of the catch by Eaton.
Taylor Eaton, just
courtesy of the replay here.
Can't say enough about him tonight. That was not an easy catch, coming full speed across the field and just have to kind of extend himself, catch it, stop, get north and south to get into the end zone, and all while pretty decent coverage on him. And that was actually a good pass from Delgado too, as he continues to have a fantastic night.
Yeah, hats off to Delgado. I mean, we talk about how he's not the typical frame quarterback, but he has managed this game extremely well. Save for a couple of balls he's thrown up for grabs that his receivers have made him look good. He's played this game extremely well.
That and throwing the one to his right guard. He wouldn't have got very far had that guy caught it. But you're right. Throughout the majority of this game, he's done such a fantastic job of keeping his team in this football game. And you got to expect that they're going to get an onside kick here, right? Am I crazy for thinking that this would be an onside kick situation?
Yep, you are. Only because the kick game hasn't done anything we've expected them to do tonight.
If they kick this ball deep, I don't know what.
There it is. I told you.
That was actually, I don't know if it was an accident or not, but that was actually a fantastic kick there. You didn't get a big hop, but the spin that was on that ball was almost kind of like a curveball from a left-hander, just kind of that lateral spin. And that was impressive from NIMITZ to be able to get that ball the way they did, because I thought that for sure was gonna skip off of that front lineman.
So the Cougars with the lead and the ball, and 4:46 to go in the fourth quarter.
You got to assume you're going to see Davis here. They learn from that last drive and just start handing the ball off.
I think they'd start stacking the front line too. Davis bounces outside. Oh, a great tackle from behind.
Number 5, Javon Davis, the ball carrier.
Maurice Woods with the shoestring tackle.
Woods starting to come into his own, a little banged up earlier in the game, but he comes right back in, and that's an athletic play there from a sophomore linebacker. Big game a week ago, and he's made some big plays here tonight as well.
Davis right up the gut. And a short pickup, and they'll bring up 3rd down and 7. Nope, 6.
I don't know if we really have to say it, but this is probably the most crucial part of this football game right here. The stop here is to get the ball back from MacArthur is absolutely huge.
Under 4 minutes. Remo looking to throw. There's a slant and knocked away. Great defensive play there by number 8, Avante Keaton. And the throw was on target. Keaton just got his hand in there and knocked it away.
It's great defense from MacArthur. And Yeah, we talked about how important offense was going to be at the top of the broadcast, and we talked about how MacArthur, their best defense was probably going to be being able to keep their offense on the field. And now it's the defense, and you're going to see NIMITZ go for this.
It is 4th down, and they're going to throw. And it's going to be converted as they hit Reynolds on a curl-in route.
That's a dicey gutsy call right there from NIMITZ, because you give the ball to MacArthur on your side of the 50 if you don't convert that, and that's a great drawn-up route. You press everybody deep, send a guy coming back, curling underneath, and you just see MacArthur run off right there and just leave him come wide open on the far sideline.
Took everybody by surprise. On 4th and 6, they go for it. Reynolds with a big catch. Under 3 minutes now. And it's more the Javon Davis show. Around left end. The 20. 10. And finally run out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it.
That might be one of the better things that could happen on that play, too, as he goes out of bounds without scoring, because now you get a couple more plays to drain this clock before you get into the end zone.
They're going to mark it at the 9. So it. I'm sorry. Where did they mark it? Is it at the 9?
No, it looks like they're about the it's at the 14,
14 okay.
yard line. Maybe closer.
They can still pick up another first down if they need to. Javon, right side. Breaks 2 tackles, 3, 4, 5, and now it's a scrum.
We just can't arm tackle this kid. I mean, Javon Davis just keeps the feet churning the entire time, and you see about 2 or 3 arms kind of stick in there trying to trip him up. And with those feet moving, just powers his way for a big gain on first down.
Pick up a 5 for Javon. 2nd and 5 from the 8. Again, letting the clock run. 2:12 and counting. They'll let this one count down under 2 minutes before they snap.
Now's where you can play keep away here with the lead going in.
Handoff Davis, right side. Big hit there. Maybe a gain of 1.
And this is one of those controversial type things, but you have to wonder if you're MacArthur with only 1 timeout left, do you let him score? Let him score right here. That's 48-37, I guess.
You still need 2 scores.
Still need 2 scores either way.
On 3rd down, you know, if you call your timeout now, then it gives you that just 1 play to stop. Because you figure they're gonna run. Oh, the movement on the right side. Sanders with the false start. That'll do a couple of bad things. It stops the clock and moves NIMITZ back. It'll be 3rd and 8 to pick up a first down.
They're going to wind the clock actually here. I thought it was with you. I thought that clock would have stayed stopped, but they wind it up.
Okay.
They're going to be able to let this get all the way down.
Well, then just keep doing that over and over. Handoff Davis, left side up the middle. And he gets down to the 10-yard line. And finally a timeout. 44 seconds to go.
And now this will be interesting here to see what the Cougars decide to do.
Okay, so with a 2-point conversion, you're within 3. And then you don't have to score a touchdown.
Yep. And they've done that twice. They did that twice in 2 different situations. An opportunity to go for 2. One, they kick the extra point. The other, they fail to convert the extra point. So in either way, now you're looking at it, you're correct. If you get the 2-point conversion, this is a field goal game we're talking about. Now if you get a stop here, you don't have to score a touchdown. All you've got to do is get into field goal range and have an opportunity, which would be much easier to do in this situation, considering you have no timeouts at this point.
Yeah.
NIMITZ lines up for the field goal. And I don't know if I'm NIMITZ if I don't try to go for this. No timeouts left, 44 seconds, and they got to drive the length of the field. I guess you always take the points as a coach where you can.
Kick is low and will not get there. So I kind of agree with you on that, but nonetheless.
Generals are going to have a chance. We talked about it. Maybe the last team with the football maybe gets a chance to win the game. And
well, they still need 2 scores. So, I mean, it'd take an absolute miracle. They'd have to score really quick.
Well, touchdown wins the game. It's 42-37. All you need is the Generals need a touchdown here, and they win this game. It makes it 43-42, right?
Well, I keep thinking the Cougars were punched another one in.
They should have. That's what you keep thinking, because they should have been in the end zone and couldn't convert. And even a field goal right there makes us a touchdown and a 2-point
conversion.
Game. Watch the Eaton
So
brothers.
It'll come down to the defense, and that hits the ground. I don't think that was complete, but it will stop the clock with 33 seconds to go.
That's what they didn't want. You didn't want to catch that ball anyway right there, because if you can't get out of bounds, now the clock just continues to run. You're short of the first down marker.
Intended for number 16.
2nd and 10, 33 seconds to go.
Second down.
Look how far off they're playing on Josh Eaton at the top of the screen.
42-37. NIMITZ leads this one.
Has Reynolds been playing that position the entire game for NIMITZ, or are they going athlete on athlete out there at cornerback now?
No double coverage up top. It's man on man. And there's Eaton. Gets out of bounds. Generals are out of timeouts. Otherwise, you would have seen Eaton curl back to the inside. And again, they're giving Joshua Eaton 20 yards over there. It's there. He'll take it again. Another 10 yards. He drops this one though.
And if you look at the roster that was on Max Preps, as well as the roster they provided us in the booth here tonight, you don't see any part of cornerback, defensive back listed with the athlete Carl Reynolds. It just says wide receiver. And so I think they've actually just gone for an athlete-on-athlete matchup out there and stuck him in to just kind of play center field out there and said, don't get beat by Josh Eaton. You're absolutely right. He's 17 yards off the line of scrimmage right here.
That's an easy 10 yards, and the coaches are going to call a timeout and talk about it. You can hear the coaches in the booth next to us. They're saying the same thing we are. You're 20 yards off the guy, and I get it. You keep it in front of him, but at some point, you play that far off of somebody, that gives them room to run around you. We saw Javon Davis do it earlier in the game, where that's all he needed was a window. 5-yard window to get around somebody and take it to the house.
Well, and you also look at it, there's no timeout. So if you let them do that 2 more times, now you're in position where they could throw a Hail Mary.
Exactly.
From where they are right now, there's no way they're going to throw the ball that deep. But you give them 2 more 15-yard pop plays, now all of a sudden they're on the other side of the 50, and now Delgado has a chance maybe on the last play of the game for a Hail Mary.
2 teams trying to stay in this 16-6A playoff race.
Still no adjustment. They're still 17 yards off of Eaton at the top of the formation.
And that's who they're looking at. There's the throw to the outside, and is it intercepted? Did he stay in?
They say, yep, that's a pick.
The pass from Eric Delgado is intercepted. Intercepting that
That's exactly what Delgado...
And it's your guy, Carl Reynolds. Push it off.
There's something to be said for sometimes going with an athlete in that situation. Of course, you got to hope that he spent some time playing that position in practice, because I've seen the opposite where you put the athlete out there, he doesn't know what he's doing, and now all of a sudden he gets beat. I saw a pass interference call in a state playoff game one time where that happened, and the pass interference call wound up giving them a field goal opportunity, and they lost the game. So I've seen both sides of it, and we talked about it all night, how great of a manager Delgado has been, and you see him just totally in agony on the sideline over his head between his legs over there. Just a kid that's given everything tonight, and he hadn't really made any mistakes. And then at the most crucial point in the game, he goes back to throwing off that back foot, floats it up, and
overthrows his wide receiver, and unfortunately threw it to the best receiver for the Cougars, and Reynolds, who grabbed it, kept 2 feet in, and that's going to be the ball game. So the Cougars hold on to win this one, 42-37. We'll take a short break and then come back and wrap this one up here for you from Thorne Stadium. You're watching Aldine ISD football on KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
We hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. And while all of us at the KMAX Sports Network are huge football fans, we broadcast more than just football, you know. In fact, KMAX Sports proudly broadcasts volleyball, girls and boys basketball, softball, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, and more. For more information on how you can help KMAX Sports broadcast any of those sports, just reach out to chuck@kmaxsports.com or merle@kmaxsports.com, or contact that sports booster club directly. KMAX Sports will gladly work with you and the booster clubs to get that team's broadcasts on the air. And if you're a fan of the other team, well, we can broadcast your team's games too. We realize that, yes, even in Texas, there's more to life than just football.
At KMAX Sports, we want to make sure you get the whole game. So we'll take a moment here to clean your speakers.
Clean sonic delivery. This is KMAX Sports. From West Texas all the way to the Bayou and all points in between.
I saw miles and miles of Texas.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, bringing your teams to you.
A good one it was, as Aldine NIMITZ holds on late to win this one 42-37, and again it was a lot of the Javon Davis show.
And I think that's going to be the story going forward for NIMITZ. If they're going to have a chance to close out on the winning streak that they need to and sneak themselves into the playoffs, I think you're going to see a steady diet of Javon Davis over the next 2 games. But next week we'll tell the story. They're going to go against the district leader in Westfield, and if they can win that game, then they skip to the last week of the season. They go against Aldine, who's in the cellar of District 6A 16. And so I think that next week will tell the story. We'll see what NIMITZ is able to do. But for now, they move up and keep their playoff hopes alive, while MacArthur, unfortunately, will have another season during the state playoffs where they're sitting at home. But a lot to look forward to, I think, for Wayne Crawford as he moves out of his first season.
So NIMITZ hanging on to that number 4 spot, and the playoff dream is alive. That'll do it for us from Thorne Stadium. For Aaron Schneider and our super producer / president of KMAX Sports, Chuck Licata, I'm Joe Hollier, and we bid you adieu. Until next time, thanks everybody.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, and this is what we do.
Looking left, throws into the end zone. Snap again, he hits the turf, and Delmar scoops it up. Cameron Wilkins has it.
Corner of the end zone. 10, 5, touchdown. Let us broadcast your team. Send an email to merle@kmaxsports.com or chuck@kmaxsports.com to find out how.
Side, he's got blockers in front of him.
10,
Touchdown.
5, touchdown.
Yes, sir.
It's what we do, and nobody does it better. We are KMAX Sports.